Hello everybody and welcome back. My name is Mira and this is my channel, Mira the Mage. We are here at the ass crack of dawn because I could not go back to sleep, and there is a message that wants to be put out. So the main message here is that your life is going to be changing drastically because you are finally allowing yourself to seek something different. You're finally allowing yourself to move differently. Okay, this is probably something that you have been working on for a very long time, and you're finally shifting that energy. Oof. Let's get into it. Look, the Voyager, you guys are finally allowing yourself to move forward and do things differently, look for something different. You guys might not necessarily know what you're going to be doing differently or how you're going to be doing it, but you guys are willing to learn, and that's a big reason why your life is going to be changing for the better. Now, when I say it's going to be changing for the better, that does not mean that it's going to be instantaneously better and amazing, and for most of you, for some of you, it can definitely start to have that very positive, that obviously positive change. But for a lot of you, it's like a tower moment right now. It's very much right now we could be in the calm before the storm, or we could be in the storm. It really depends on where you're at right now. Look, but this is pushing you towards your destiny. Something was working for a very long time. Now it's not working, or it's not working in the way that it used to work. And you're being called, or you've been called for a very long time, probably months to years for some of you guys, to make this shift, to do things differently. And now that you're finally allowing yourself to transmute that energy, to get things going in that right way, changing the way that you see yourself, or the way that you expand as an individual. Look, expansion. Changing the way that you do things, doing things differently, making more room for more things or more people or more energies within your life. Look, and then we have quincunx with complexity, but it's in the reverse. For a very long time, you could have been looking at this change, or you know, looking at this metaphorical shift and being like, oh, that's, you know, it's too much, right? It could have been like you guys have been putting restraints on yourself, confinements on yourself, limitations. You know, I'll do this when it's easier, or I'll do this when the energy starts to sort itself out. But if you wait for something to be perfect, if you wait for the perfect timing, you're never going to get anything done. And the energy right here, is literally Pluto in reverse. If you wait for everything to become perfect, you're never going to get anything done. If you wait for the energy to be easier, for the task to be easy, nothing ever is going to come to you. And you guys have finally, I feel like you guys have realized that and understood that for a very long time, but you're finally allowing yourself to accept that and make moves accordingly. Look, we have, what do we have? The first house? Yeah, we did have the first house with self, and then we have sun with being. 10th house with reputation. Now you're no longer so focused on how people are going to see you. You're focused on how you are going to see yourself. How am I going to look at myself in 10 years? Am I going to be proud of what I've done? Am I going to be, you know, staying stagnant? And, you know, how am I going to look at myself, right? And then we have Pluto with transformation right here in Gemini, the butterfly, right? Making a transformation within yourself that you're going, look, we have Leo, the lover. And then we have Venus with love right here. You are making a change from the inside out, because you guys have gathered so much information and you guys have transmuted so much energy. You guys are really making a change at a cellular level right here. This could even be like hopping through different dimensions. For example, we have been hearing for a very long time about the shift from the 4th to the 5th dimension, and that could be something that you're experiencing right now. And remember, it doesn't have to be such a huge physical shift. When we are shifting from the 4th to the 5th dimension, it's not like we are walking into a new earth. We're just becoming a new version of self. And because we are becoming a new version of self, everything is going to domino. Where was that Jupiter card? It's like a domino effect. Oh, it wasn't the Jupiter card. It's a different card. But anyways, everything will domino. I always say this. You need to be the change that you want to see. So if you make a little bit of a change, everything in your life has to change. That's the law of attraction. It has to change. There is no way that you can make a big change, especially on a cellular behavioral energetic level, and things around you stay the same. It's not going to work like that. You make the change, and then everything around you either has to change or it has to move out. This is why you'll notice in big transformation periods, the people around you, they'll start to be different, act different, move different in a way that aligns more so with the new version of you that you are accepting, embracing, and embodying. Right? And if they don't make those changes, you'll notice that you're very much called to release them, or sometimes they release themselves. They walk away from you, and that is actually a blessing in disguise. Let's get some tarot cards here. That's too much. It just literally came out a clump. Okay, we're going to take the first three. We have the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. Six of Emotions, Six of Cups in reverse. Yeah, look, the Six of Cups is all about the past. It's all about, sometimes it could be about the inner child, about, I think sometimes, I believe sometimes it can be about inner conditioning, how we've been conditioned to feel, to look, to live, to perceive. Right? And the Queen of Materials in reverse is showing that this isn't working for us anymore. This isn't something that is bearing fruit anymore. This mindset, this way of living, this way of doing things or perceiving oneself, it's not working anymore. There is going to need to be a shift, or there is a shift that is happening right now that is very much changing the way that you look at things, and most importantly, the way that you believe in yourself. Right? We have this little child right here, right? She's sitting in a suitcase, and she's got like this this hat and these glasses on, like she's a pilot, and she's soaring through space. And then there's Saturn right there. I think that's Saturn. I don't know if it's Saturn or Uranus, but either way, it's talking about making and taking the steps to make that change, right? And then we have, look, Eight of Wands, moving forward with passion, moving forward with speed, but also making sure that when we're moving forward with passion and with speed, that we are dotting all our T's and crossing all our I's, that we are making sure that we are making the correct moves. And sometimes that doesn't mean mapping everything out and planning everything out. Sometimes that could just mean checking in with your intuition and asking yourself, is this really the right move that I need to make? Yeah, the King of Wands right here. Beautiful. For some of you guys, you might be called to wear more protective hairstyles, braids, stuff like that. Braids, cornrows, fucking anything like that. Veiling yourself. I don't think we need any more. Yeah, the Knight of Wands in reverse. This has been a long time coming. This hasn't been an instantaneous decision. This was not an instantaneous change. This was something that had happened very, 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 what is the word? It has happened little by little. It has happened increment by increment. This is something that you've made a little bit of a change here, and then a little bit of a change there, and then a little bit of a change there, and then over the years or over the months, those changes have cultivated into you manifesting, or really calling in, allowing this new life to submerge. And because all of this stuff is coming in for you right now, it might get a little bit more challenging before it gets easier. You might have to go through the darkness before you find the light at the end of the tunnel. And a lot of you guys might be a little bit frustrated right now because it feels like you've been going through that darkness for a very long time, and Spirit is like, just hold out. It's like it's like when you're running like a marathon or a race. It's like you're on that last lap. You can't lose your place now. You can't lose your footing now. You can't overthink or overdo, or, you know, yeah, you can't muddy it up for yourself right now. You're on that last lap. You're right near the finish line. You're so close, right? And a lot of the times when we finally integrate everything that we've learned and everything that we have been implementing, when we finally integrate all of these things, it is going to get a little bit harder at the end, because now we're in the allowing stage, and the allowing stage can be the most difficult, right? First we have to accept that we need to allow, and then we have to learn how to step back and just allow. And then when we're in that allowing phase, we are shown and given so many opportunities to do things differently. The allowing phase is so for example, let's say something that you've been working on is your anger, right? And this is just a very small example. Something that you've been working on is your anger, right? And you've learned those little bit of lessons that you needed to learn, and now you're finally in the state where you've accepted, you understand that you have to allow, you've learned to step back, and you finally feel like it's starting to become a little bit easier, and you're feeling yourself allowing that energy. Then, and at that point, you will notice it start to get a little bit harder before your blessings come in, because then it's sort of like your energy wants to make sure that it is ready for the next phase. Make sure that it is ready for the next portion of your life. And in order to do that, we need to know if you have read all of that chapter and closed it already. So you're going to be tested, but really given the opportunities, triggered. You're going to be triggered into utilizing these new tools that you have. So because you are working on your anger, right? The new tools that you have is communication, patience, stuff like that, right? And this is the time where the universe says, okay, you've gathered all the tools. You have them all in your tool belt. Now let's see how you use them. It's sort of like, it's giving me construction vibes. You know, you go to school, you take all the classes and learning how to build X, Y, and Z. You've got all the tools, you have all the knowledge, and now it's like you're in the shop, or, you know, whatever, and your teacher is like, okay, well, build me this. Let me see how you build this. Can you do it? You know, and you can do it. You can do it. You are doing it. You have been doing it. It's just that the tests might get a little bit more intense around this, you know, when you're right at the finish line, the tests will get a little bit more intense. When you're running a race, right before you cross that finish line, you might notice that tug in your chest. You might notice your breath feeling heavier, your legs feeling like jelly, but that's because you're right there, and you're anticipating that right there. You're anticipating that release. You're anticipating that win, and that's what's happening. You know, you can't let the anticipation of that release, of that win, of that abundance, fool you into thinking that you can just allow everything to just stop and to just be. Interesting, because that was a little contradictory the way that came out, but I feel like those of you who resonate with that message are going to definitely understand. Whoa. We're going to take these too. We have the 5th house, self-expression and embodiment with the 1st house. Look, we literally had the 1st house of self, and then we have it again here. 1st house, embodiment. We also had Saturn in the one right here. And then we have the 5th house with self-expression. What are we talking about here? Painting a new picture of your life, doing things. Look, we have Saturn here, We have Saturn here, if you guys can see it. And Spirit saying, don't let the little noise, or metaphorical noise in the background distract you, right? Don't let everything that is outside of your control get too far underneath your skin to where it fucks up your progress. Nothing, when you have something going for yourself, a relationship, a job, a transformation, a change, nothing can take that away from you unless you give it the power. Nothing has the power to take anything away from you. Nothing has the power to affect you in any way unless you allow it. And it doesn't feel like you're allowing it anymore. We have the 3rd house with learning. Yeah, now you are starting to embody everything that you've learned, and you're starting to utilize that in your self-expression. It is time to do things differently, not just because you've learned how to do things differently, but because you see yourself differently. This is beautiful. Irama, where are you being called to journey to? Beautiful. Where are you being called to journey to? And it makes me think of like when I was talking about that tower moment, because we have the castle right here, and I always say the tower has to fall in order for the castle to be built. We cannot build upon something that is already there. For example, I don't know why I just got this example. You know how kids always want to go to the bathroom with you all the time, and you'll be sitting there peeing and they'll be like, I have to pee. And my grandma always used to tell me, okay, what do you want to sit on my lap? Like, and that's the thing. You have to wait for your turn. You have to wait for the space to be cleared up in order for you to take that space, right? You have to wait for that person to finish their business in order for you to be able to do yours. You have to wait for the tower to crumble and to level out that surface, that foundation, in order to build something in its place, in its stead, right? And for a lot of you guys, what I was just being seen, or being given, being delivered to me is there's some sort of moving up. That could have been why we got the 10th house, the reputation, the career energy. It's like there is a space that you are supposed to take. This is more money, more respect. This is being in a position of authority. This is having a higher calling, reaching out to more people, doing more things, making more money, going more places. There's some sort of energetic position that you are being granted. This is sort of like an energetic promotion that you are being granted, but first you needed that other person, or those other energies, or that other wave of people, energies, whatever, to leave that spot. So for example, it always goes like this. It's sort of like a Ferris wheel, right? It's sort of like a Ferris wheel. When one person goes up, the other goes down, and it's not up and down in a positive or negative polarity type of way. It's in order to get that seat at the top, it needs to go around, and so that person at the top will then come down, and you can then go up and take your place there until it's your rest period. It's sort of like when you're down here, you're in that rest period, you're starting a new transition, and then you learn and you integrate and you move up and you shine and you show out, and then you're you, and you're taking this new form of self and expanding it towards everybody and showing it to everybody, expressing it to everybody, and then you move down again. You feel like there's more. You recognize that this isn't where you stop. So the carousel keeps on moving. It keeps on turning. And then you get back to that point where you're in that transition, right? It doesn't stop. There is no one above the other. There's just more awakening, more levels, more depth, right? We have awakening, energetic upgrades, a new way of being, integration. Beautiful. And we're going to get one of these. Can we get a message, please? Thank you. Okay, we have two. We have fury. I was talking about anger. That could have been a specific message for somebody. Fury, passion turned inward upon itself, can manifest in the form of anger, rage, vengeance, or fury. Healing is needed. Life has been painful and you have been wronged. Karmic justice must come as it is meant to. Now is the time to go within and seek answers. Avoid the trapping of temperamental people. Rise above the war around you. So there could be a lot of difficulty. Like I said, Spirit was saying, don't let the noise distract you. Don't let the noise around you distract you. Don't let other people's noise, other people's problems, other people's projections of what they're going through allow you to fuck up what you've got going, because that's the only way it can fuck up what you got going, is if you allow it. All right, next card is Providence. It is by divine intervention that your situation will be handled. This is outside of your control. Expect grand gestures from the universe and spirit. Have faith in the outcome. There are things happening behind the scenes that you are unaware of. All that is happening is for you, not against you. Stay in your truth and trust the process. And on the back of the deck, we have, look, tranquility. It says, it is time to go within and seek peace. Remove yourself from any situation, environment that takes away from your peace of mind. Build a sanctuary. Involve yourself in healthy habits and healthy people. Like attracts like. Vibrate higher. Work with your dreams. Brainstorm with ideas of how to make the best of your situation. So this is just spirit confirming that everything that is coming to you, it is going to lead you to that peace. It is going to lead you to that good feeling energy that you've been feeling for a very, very long time, that you've been calling in for a very, very long time. I know it's been hard work, but we're not there yet. There's a little bit of a bump before we get there. This is your last lap. It's gonna happen. Get ready to cross the finish line soon. Toodles. Love you guys. See ya. Like, comment, and subscribe.